Alright guys, let's see the following case. A developer is working on a branch and it creates a new feature. So it changes the code and it pushes the branch. Let's see how this branch can be incorporated into the master, but the remote master. We go to GitHub and immediately we'll see that the branch, after being pushed, will appear here. We can actually create a pull request and we'll choose which branch we would like to merge to the master branch. So we will choose our new branch, and this new branch, we would like the changes from it to affect the master. Let's see, here we have an error, can't automatically merge. Apparently someone else created or updated the code into the master branch. That's why Git is very careful not to allow us to merge our code with the master branch, because this can create some issues for the other persons, because we will be actually using older code than them. Let's see how we can solve this. We'll go to the terminal and here we'll type git pull origin master. Inside of our master branch, it will pull everything from the origin, which is the remote branch, and we'll place it and update our master branch. And here we see that we entered into some conflict. Actually, in the master branch, we have this version 3 with this code here. And we are trying to implement this change. So let's say that we see the two conflicting versions and we choose which one to keep. So we'll just delete and leave our version, and that's how we will resolve the conflict. We will save, and now we will type git status, and we see that we have still this file being modified, so we are still in the fixing of the conflicts. We need to add it, so we'll add the start JS, and for now we see that it's modified, and we just need to place Git Commit, which will create a new commit with this file. And now we see that we have made 3 additional commits, and we can push them. We'll just type git push. Alright, so we resolved the conflicts, and now we can create again pull requests. Okay, so we'll click on our branch. We see here that the last commit that we have is actually the commit which is actually resolving our conflicts. That's what we added, the version 4 to the file, and we deleted the previous version that it was already on the master branch. So we can click now create a pull request, and now the owner of the master branch, currently we are this owner, can choose whether to reject or to merge the current branch, which is our new branch from version 1. We're just clicking on merge. This way, when we go to our project and we are on the master, when we click our file, we see that this is the latest version. Actually, this is the version which has been provided from our new branch, from the new branch from version 1. So the path was the new branch to create a pull request, and then this pull request to be approved and to be merged into the master branch. Alright guys, let's see now how we can revert changes that we made. For this, let's create a new branch, first locally. So we'll type git checkout -b, and the name of the branch we would like to create. Actually, we can type first git branch, second branch, and if we type again git branch, we see that we are still on the master. We can go with git checkout to the second branch. Git status will give us that we don't have any changes or new files. Now we'll create one file and create several commits of different versions of this file. So we'll open Visual Studio Code here, and we'll open the folder Git project. Okay, so we'll create one new file, let's say index.html, and inside, let's say this will be just version 1 of the file. We save the file. If we type git status, we see that we have one untracked file, so we can add the file into our staging area. Okay, with git add index.html, and then let's check on which branch we are actually. Okay, the second branch. Let's commit the change. Git commit. Yes, I am first version. Then we'll do a second version of the file. We save. We'll repeat adding the changes, and here a second version and a third version. And now we are ready to push the changes. We'll push them in our newly created second branch. Okay, now if we go to GitHub and refresh, we see that we have a second branch here, and inside we see that we are having 3 commits. So let's see the commits: first, second, and third version. We saw that this branch, we have created 3 commits ahead, but we are 5 commits behind master. This means that we haven't synchronized our master. We can do this right now. So our master on the local machine has obsolete code. So we can go to the terminal. Here we can type git pull origin master, which will grab everything from the origin and place it in our master. A merge will appear because the contents of the both branches differ. Okay, let's save this file. This will be just the commit message. Now if we type git status and git log, actually we'll see our latest merge that happened here, and our head points to our local branch here. Remotely we are still on this third version of the file, so we can push the latest change remotely in order to synchronize them. So we'll do this with Git Push. We'll provide our credentials. Inside of GitHub, if we refresh, we see that everything is okay. We have the third version of our index.html and the previous file. All the conflicts were resolved, and the original master branch updated our local branch. So if we click on the commits, we see the 3 versions plus the synchronization merge here graphically. And we see those commits, they have their IDs also. So now the point is how we can restore, for example, the first version into our working directory. We'll go to the terminal, and this is our file currently here. We can type git log, and we can see names of the commits, and for the first version we can copy the initial characters of this commit, and we would like to restore our branch towards it. So since we want our version here, which is the working directory, to change, we'll create the so-called hard reset. So we'll type git reset and with the hard option, and then we can provide the commit ID. As you can see, our index.html is at version 1, it automatically updated. And if we type git status, we see that we actually restored our file. And either we can create a new branch, or we can just save somewhere the changes and afterwards restore them while we are working. Alright, let's go back to our original version 3. So from git log, we'll see the version 3 commit name. So we see now it's a first version, version 2, and we cannot see the latest commits, and for this we can use another command, git reflog. With git reflog we have a certain kind of history based on what we have done with Git, so this allows to see the commit IDs of the previous now orphaned commits. So we can see that if we would like to restore to this latest merge, we can go to this commit ID. So we'll repeat the command here, reset hard, and the name of the commit ID. And now we see that we are on version 3 here on the file. So we understood how with git reset hard we can play and undo and redo certain commits. Let's see what's the difference between git checkout and git reset hard. Okay, let's open start.js and modify something here. We are not satisfied with the index.html changes. So we would like just to reset one file, not everything that we have in our working directory. If we do a reset right now, we see that both of the files are resetted, and we lost the changes in our start.js file. So we lost the version 5. So let's go back and okay, now we are having version 5 in start.js, and we would like to restart only the index.html file. So we can type git checkout and then the name of the commit that we would like to restart to, and then the name of the file, okay, index.html, or path to the file. And this should restart only one file, and we see that index.html is version 1 and start.js it's our currently developed content. So that is the main difference between reset and checkout. Reset goes back and resets all the files, especially with the hard option, to the working directory, while checkout you can choose which files to be placed from a certain commit to your current version. Now we made a lot of changes, and if we type git status, we see that we have modified index.html and also start.js. Since we haven't committed those changes, if we try to switch branches, let's see where we are right now. Git branch, we are in the second branch. So if we try to go to the master branch, git checkout master, we see that both of the files will be overwritten because we cannot switch branches while we are still working on something. We can either commit those changes, so we will have to add this file here and afterwards to commit both of the files. Or if we would like to continue later working on these files without making a commit, so if we are not ready to make a commit, we can just type git stash. And this will actually create another commit. This is internally, of course, and we will save all our changes. Now if we type git status, we see that everything is clear, and we can actually go to the master branch. And here we can work with the files, we can create commits, etc. And if we go again to the second branch, and as we see, we are on version 3 in the index.html and version 4 on the start.js. We can just type git stash pop, and this will grab all the changes that were saved in the stash and will reapply them inside of our both files. So we see that we can start working from where we have left off. So this technique, working with stashes, allows us to switch between branches and to be more flexible while working with files inside of the branches.